Junior. For the next hour, we will be mixing a lot of issues, especially to do with COVID-19, as we be able to cross over to the Ministry of Health, where it is expected that we'll have the latest update from the Minister of Health. But before doing that, we'll let you interested, or try to keep you interested to what we have on the table. And that includes the Global Money Week, which domesticated, also called the Financial Literacy Week, launched on Monday, the 22nd of March, runs right up to 28th of March, under the theme, Take Care of Your Health, Take Care of Your Money. And it is an important conversation, and we'll be talking to a guest from the financial world. The Drug Enforcement Commission has embarked on an awareness campaign to try and help young people from getting in trouble in as far as abuse of drugs is concerned. But tied to that, there are individuals who've taken it upon themselves to help other people to avoid getting hooked on alcohol. And they try to make this awareness by taking a long walk from Choma to Lusaka. Plus much more on the update when we come back from this break. Units, and we're here to talk about, among other things, what are regarded as falling prey to fake schemes, and what you should do to protect yourself, and what you ought to do when you suspect that there's a company that is operating what is also called as a Ponzi scheme. Boyd, thank you for being with us, and hopefully your morning is fine. But maybe it will be important from the onset to define what I've heard is a Ponzi scheme. Yes. Hello, Boyd, are you there? In Department DEC, Dr. Isaac Masie, and here to address matters that are concerning the public. Dr. Masie is by far left, and next to me is the Senior Investigations Officer, Boyd Mnalolo. Let's start with you, because that was my intention early on when I was calling you. And you're just very close to me.
Thank you.
A Ponzi scheme. Now, I don't know whether this is English or this is just some expression that has grown out of what usually gets born when something is popular, even if it may be negative. What is it?
Yes, rightly put, frankly. Of course, Ponzi scheme, they draw their name from a person who lived in the time past, I think in the 1920s, by the name of Charles Ponzi, an Italian, but migrated to the United States. So he swindled people through advancing investments, where he was actually offering interest rates that were just above the normal, and they usually 50% and so. So that's where that name comes from, and it is popularized by him. So similarly, all other schemes that are in a similar manner, they kind of draw their name from there.
Excellent.
Yes.
So, recognizing one is another matter.
Yes.
It takes time for many people to do that. How does one smell it or feel it?
Okay, so maybe before I can glide into that, we would want to make people understand on what it is premised on. These are investors, or let me say operators, that will go to people and say, if you put in so much, we are going to give you whatever return that is. But we find that there is no underlying economic activity per se. So this person or company that are in this business are actually getting funds that are coming from other potential or other subscribers that have bought into the idea to pay the first people that maybe got into this activity. So we find that there is no underlying economic activity per se, but simply that they are getting money from other subscribers to give those that came in later.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's mostly? Who are mainly victims? What's the average?
Surely, a lot of people are play victim to this virus because of the recruitive return that is there. They promise a very high return, so people get hooked to actually participate in such an activity, which in itself is actually criminalized.
Okay.
In Zambia, it comes under operating a money circulating scheme, which is prohibited by the Banking and Financial Services Act. Yes, so it is a crime. But you find that people, because they want to save, they want to earn a little higher, they get hooked into this vice and they want to participate in a Ponzi scheme. But it is very clear that they don't last.
Is it very common?
It's very common right now in Zambia. Very common. We've had a lot of.
Could there be people who are not aware that this is what they're in?
Yes, it could be. I think it plays back to maybe sometimes the literacy levels or the ability to be able to identify whether it is indeed a legitimate business and it is not a Ponzi scheme. It's like we are easily influenced if we hear maybe testimony of people saying it worked.
Right.
As long as it worked, then you also want to go there. And
Thank you very much, Franklin. Yes, issues of drugs have got the psychological effects. In fact, we have psychological and physiological effects as well. To talk about the physiological effects, you will find that young people that are abusing drugs, first and foremost, the personal appearance will change. Personal hygiene will change. They will start displaying behavior that is not acceptable in a home, for instance. You will have young people with the bloodshot eyes. You will have young people who have got abdominal and muscle cramps due to these drugs that they are doing. If you come to psychological effects, there are issues such as a child that looks at everybody as lower than himself because he's high on drugs. So even the father in a home might appear to him as if he is just a small child, and that begins the process of losing respect due to drugs. So there are so many effects, psychological and physical effects that happens to drug users.
What's the most common abuse drug at the moment?
From our records, because we deal with these people almost on a daily basis, from our records, the drug which is topping the list is alcohol, followed by the cannabis. And we know alcohol is a legal drug, okay, but the effects that it has is more even than hard drugs
Okay.
So we have the alcohol, we have cannabis.
And the cannabis, just to be clear,
Yes, please.
I was talking about Ichamba.
Exactly.
Right, because sometimes some of these terms,
Not the one.
some of these terms just, they look so distant.
Yeah.
And just in someone's backyard, not too far from the parent or the garden. That is. So that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
What is popular known as marijuana? Okay, yeah. So that we're clear and we're not glossing over these issues.
Okay.
So number one is alcohol.
Number one is alcohol. Here in Zambia, number one is alcohol. Then we are seeing more of cannabis, which is marijuana, and as you have going to say. Then we are seeing heroin. Heroin is pumping strong, especially in these suburbs.
And it seems to be so distant because for many a youth, heroin is what you see on your TV.
Yes.
So far away.
These drugs, frankly,
I'm saying that this is what is it's common now.
these drugs, frankly, especially heroin, and including cannabis, but cocaine, by the way, it's here. But we see more of heroin here, in the compounds, in the streets.
Supplying.
Well, the supply, these drugs are coming from outside. As you are aware that we don't have cocaine here, we don't have cannabis.
Yes, somebody has found the market.
Yes, someone is bringing these drugs in here. In the past, our country used to be a transit point. But for now, it has become a consumer country. And that's
Somebody's benefiting clearly.
exactly
And parents are still, I want to believe, and I could be wrong, are still behind, quote unquote. Because this problem is far, it's not here. These are, you see them in international, whether it's reality, documentaries. So you need to emphasize, if this is the actual issue, that this is here.
Franklin, I want to confirm to you that the issue of drug abuse is extremely rampant in this country. And it involves all these 3-4 drugs that I've mentioned. Okay, it's real. We have a lot of people that are coming to our offices or to our counseling rooms seeking aid, seeking help. So it's not that we are talking from without. It's real.
What's the general assessment of parents and their reaction when they find out their child is hooked?
Well, most parents, they come to learn about their children's involvement in drugs very late. And that's why our campaign as Drug Enforcement Commission, we want them to know the symptoms, the signs for drug abuse. For example, if the child, whom you know very well, goes outside the home and comes shortly after with the bloodshot eyes, that is a sign that something is going wrong. Okay, his eyes are always clear, but he goes out and he comes in with the bloodshot eyes. Or he has got increased the appetite. The child suddenly, in my view, these are happening suddenly. Yes. The child suddenly has got a huge appetite or has lost appetite. If you find that your child has got is moving with matchboxes in the pockets, he has got all those paraphernalias for drug use, then you must get worried. So most parents, they learn late about this.
So would random blood tests help?
The random blood test, yes, it would help. But as you know that everything that deals with the blood tests has got to go through with the law.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm talking about parents. If they suspect.
If they ask, for example, those that come to our counseling rooms, they want to know exactly what the child is doing. So they will ask for a drug test. As Drug Enforcement Commission, we provide that service. We provide drug tests, we provide just mere assessment, where if the parents want to take the child somewhere for treatment, they can do that. Then we also provide the pure counseling, where we are using a CPT as one of the therapies that are very common, especially for drug users. Then we also do reintegration.
Right. So, but that's after the fact, is it not? Don't you think that you could do what do they call it? Almost like getting into all the schools.
Yes.
Because we're told that's where the problem is.
Yes.
It's going to cost a little bit.
Exactly.
But imagine just lawfully, obviously, testing everybody.
Yes. In some countries, they do that, especially in European countries. When you take a child to a particular school, you sign somewhere where you allow for such kind of things like random testing. But for us in Zambia, we haven't reached that level.
So we have a problem. I mean, you can see the problem, and to stem it, you have to be a bit radical, be ahead of
Exactly.
So what should we be pushing for? What we just given as an example.
This is what we are talking about. Right now, we want to push for legislation so that these things can come out clearly. Then we can do that. Because if we have to end a problem, definitely we have to take radical measures.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Let me turn back to the policy scheme, because also, and it's interesting because it's all drug enforcement commission, and it's clear that your hands just when you think you're sorting out one problem, there's quite another. Now, in this world of the digital age, we have seen you have won yourself so much money, and people are falling for all these. So it's not just physical, is it?
Yeah.
Has technology complicated, these matters?
Of course, there is a challenge to it, but legislation is there that actually covers such aspects. Sure. Yes.
Are these also connected to investors? Who's behind this? Where's the problem? Where are the roots?
Sure. I would say it's well known. We've had cases of people who are not nationals, maybe say Kenya, they will start up something which they are doing as an investment online, and people here in Zambia will start participating in it. Then suddenly it goes under and they lose such funds. So we wouldn't say it's coming from this sector or this sector, or it's just locally here.
Right.
But we do have also local people that have gone into such vices. Yes.
Right. So what's a common activity? Maybe you can help us understand that.
Okay. So the common activity there is just collecting money from individuals, and of course promising a return to say after a particular period somebody is going to receive maybe 100% what they had put in. Yes. But you find that these companies or the promoters of such vices do not have any other alternative investment or a reinvestment indeed, in which they are taking that money to invest so that they can earn that return. What is happening is it's just money that is moving hands. So the ripple effect is that at the later stage, when other investors or the ones that said want to call for their funds, there will be no funds to be paid.
Okay.
So they will certainly lose it.
Is this part of laundering?
Yeah, I would say it's part of laundering, because money laundering is predicated by such departures from the law. So in that respect, if you look at even maybe these same companies or individuals that are fostering such activities, they do not have the regulatory framework within themselves to be able to observe maybe the rules, or even be able to detect whether these funds are coming from a criminal activity. So they may, in a way, also be able to assist in laundering funds, because they will receive funds They don't care how much you bring, they will receive it and they will not ask you where it's coming from.
So imagine some retirees have been affected.
Yeah.
I imagine people who saved, have been affected.
Sure.
That really sounds sad.
Very sad. Others have lost their properties. There are people that have sold their properties to take their money into this investment that has told them within 2 months you are going to receive double what you had put in.
So let's talk about quick rich schemes. What do they call it? Let's talk about this. The desire to make quick money.
Yes.
Or street language, quick buck. Is this part of the problem?
Yes, I think we have just developed this appetite, of wanting quick fix. We don't want to wait and follow the process of an investment. An investment of 3 months should be over and above an investment of a year. So it's not just real, but I think it's sometimes degrading people's hearts or to quickly get your profits and your money that people now are falling prey to.
So what does an individual do? So if they get associated with an entity, should they check with DEC? What do they do?
Yes, let them check with us. Let them check with Bank of Zambia. We are talking finances here. There are players in the market there that regulate whether it's purely an investment, whether it's purely a saving. So they are receiving deposits from the public. We have an institution that regulates such. The Bank of Zambia, they can check with the Bank of Zambia. They can check with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Also, I think the pensions.
So the challenge, I sense, is the technical difficulty in doing it, because let's face it, not everybody can access some of those facilities or places. So then it becomes a bit of a hassle, and they'll just go straight. Shouldn't there be an easier way of counter checking whether this is genuine or not?
Okay. They say that if you are suspicious, maybe about it being giving you too quick returns, whatever investment that somebody wants to go in, I think that is a red flag in itself. So people should be wary to just fall prey to quick fixes. They promise high returns. I think we should be more rational than emotional, okay, when maybe trying to make a decision to make an investment.
We've heard of community saving initiatives. People come together and they put money together. There's a local expression for it. These skills, have they penetrated, these genuine schemes?
Genuine schemes. Yes, anyway, in certain circumstances, especially where maybe there is another promise maybe to reorganize, because I think village banks are set up in such a way that there is security in one and the other, each other.
Right.
Yes. But if it goes beyond that, you say now that money that you have raised within your village group, now come and invest it in this company, and within a particular time you come and get double than what you could have gotten from the village bank. Then
the concept of village banking, and I've heard this, the attraction is how quickly you get what you've invested in, like triple, 4 times, forgive me, I can't explain it, but it's really been wrong. Does what you're talking about risk these genuine, or what seems to be genuine setups like village bank? What should members of village banking groups do to safeguard themselves from what we're discussing?
Yes, of course, they should not go beyond themselves and invest into something that they don't know about. Because you have to ask yourself a question: where are you taking the money? What business are they in? Okay. From a village bank setup, it's more or less like empowering each other to go and do certain things. You make a profit, you pay part of it, and pay what you are borrowed. And over time, you will recoup whatever it is. And you make a general, profit for everyone, which will be shared at a later time.
Right.
But in some of these cases, you find that there's no underlying economic activity at all. It's just bringing people together. In fact, they will want to mask it in a particular way so that you want to believe that indeed there could be a real investment when in fact they are not.
Well, still because we're still bouncing back and forth. It's a DEC at the end of the day. Now, for many, it's yes, there's a problem, and we're talking about drug abuse and young people. Are there enough facilities, centers? I think you touched on the psychological effects that are there and what you do. Maybe you've got clinics. How does one get help? Because that's very, very critical, isn't it?
Exactly. So, at the Drug Enforcement Commission, we are running counseling centers. We are running counseling centers in 10 provincial towns and a few selected districts. So, if a parent out there would like to have our services, we always ask them to first of all bring the child to our offices for assessment. Other than DEC counseling centers, I know for sure now that we have a few private rehab centers that are coming up. All those are also trying to put up efforts together so that we can curb this problem. But basically, a parent or a person who indeed is an addict is free to walk into our offices. Yes, as long as they just walk into our offices, even if they have some drugs in their pockets. But if they walk to our offices,
you not because they walk to your office.
In fact, frankly, to that effect, we are trying to change the narration as Drug Enforcement Commission. I know many people know us as people who arrest. Yes, it's not that Drug Enforcement is going to arrest all the time.
Right.
We are providing much more service to the public than arrest. We have counseling, we have educational programs, we have got training programs where we are training parents on a program which we call Family and Parenting Skills. Then we also do stakeholder engagement. We know that we don't have manpower, we don't have the human resources.
Right. So
we are working with other organizations in order for us to deal with all these things.
Stay with me. This is very worrying. But let's go to another, less depressing matter, but worrying. This is football. I'm sure you all love football. And Zambia plays Algeria tomorrow in do or die Africa Cup qualifier at Heroes. In fact, tonight, I beg your pardon, at the National Heroes Stadium. On the line is soccer analyst Ruben Kamanga, and good to have you. It may not be enough in number, but you'll be relying on the community, parents, and so on. How's that response?
Well, the response from our partners is very overwhelming. We do a lot of referrals. In the past, we had a limitation of referring. We used only to refer to Chainama. And as you are aware that Chainama is a mental hospital, it might not do very well for drug addiction. So some people were refraining. Okay, they don't want to send their children there. But we are happy now that private rehab centers are coming up. And as government, I think we must strive to have our own rehab center, a national rehab center. Yes.
But
so the response is quite good.
Right. I mean, ideally, there should be no rehab center at all, right? I mean, like, society should just be perfect, but then you can't have perfect society. That's the sad part about this life.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the interaction that is lacking in some family setups, where parents don't really know what's going on with their children because, well, they have to make ends meet, they're busy, and so are not able to tell the difference in as well as behavior,
Yes.
Quality time.
Yes, Franklin. Through our program, the Family and Parenting Skills Program, it's a relatively new program. I think we are running it for the 3rd year now. Through this program, the main purpose of this program is to increase communication between children and their parents. We also want to foster trust, okay, and also to give young people, together with their parents, problem-solving skills. So it is a program that has got 8 sessions. We have sessions with parents only, then sessions with the parents and children, and also sessions with the children only.
Right.
Now, these children might not be actual biological children. Our officers countrywide, they are conducting this family and parenting skills training. But
right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. What do you have to say to parents who just thrown their kids out, who've just thrown their nephews out, who've just, because of lack of the skills
Yes.
you're talking about?
That is not the best way of solving that problem. The parents, guardians, they have an opportunity. Here we are as a government entity providing that service. So we urge parents out there to bring their children to Drug Enforcement Commission. We have the Education and Counseling Department, which does not arrest. And therefore, let them enjoy these free services. Yes. So, and again, frankly, to add on that, other than counseling, we have now added the component of fighting drug abuse through healthy lifestyles. And so, to this effect, on 2nd April 2021, we have an event. Drug Enforcement Commission has organized an event which will take place at Pinacomo, and it will start from 6:30 to at about 14 hours.
Right.
So it involves the aerobics. So we will have powerful aerobic institutions that will come and help us organize this. And we are also inviting Maureen Lupolilanda, our musician. Yes, she has helped us in the past. She has done a few songs about drug abuse. And so we are inviting those people that are grappling with issues of drugs to come and get information from us.
It's very sad, but it's reality.
And by the way, the first 20 who will come will receive T-shirts.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's open to the public.
That's good to hear.
Thank you.
Let me turn to Boyd again, because I think that is what is required. Is it not the some awareness event? I don't know, some place to go to identify or for education. I wonder what's on the card.
Yes, even through the office of my boss here. The money laundering programs are part of what they do in disseminating information to make people aware about these financial crimes there and help people desist from participating in such. Of course, we also, because of the advent of the COVID, of course, we have had online workshops that have been done to sensitize the public and also institutions on issues of money laundering.
Is your office strongly linked to whistleblowing? And if so, how protected are whistleblowers?
Yes, whistleblowers are very protected. If you have anything that you want to report, you have seen something suspicious, you are free to walk to our offices. We will not disclose your identity. You can also call in. We've got some numbers that can be provided, like I have 0955 68 43 43.
68 43 43.
Yes, and 0211 25 70.
Yes.
72. Yes.
Right, and this might look. This is really important because there are people out there who are hurting, whose investments have been washed away because they were duped into believing that this is something that is really, really great. How quickly do you want Zambians to be alive to the fact that not everything that glitters is gold?
Yes, it should have been yesterday, because a lot of them have lost their hard-earned cash, and others were talking about pensions and so forth. So immediately they see something, please let them come forward. Yeah, we would have loved that it was yesterday that everyone was awake to these vices, like a situation that we are seeing, that people still believe that these Ponzi schemes can actually pay off. Yeah, but in the end, it is them that are going to cry.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's sad that they have to cry. But stay with me, because now I would like to go to Choma, because there is people that are trying to help you in a way. It's Choma Alcohol and Drug Rehabilitation Organization, and we have Maketo Mukengami on the line, the board chairperson, a recovering alcohol addict. Thanks for being part of the update. And we last spoke, and you were unveiling yourself in that in that regard. What sort of feedback are you getting, and especially that you are embarking on an awareness campaign?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for hosting us in the active program of the ZNBC COVID again. I would like to start you could to start on the food program that the 2021 so far is on course. We have the program to be taken into the contact to look the permanent secretary service of the secretary partner, which is the recruitment of our we are unique on the initiative which is the same accounting public. The relevance of the work and the work that we're trying to do can be appreciated by government up there in the target.
Right. In as far as your organization is concerned, who are you targeting?
Well, we targeting about to get do this work because we've been working through a distance of 300 kilometers, passing through a district in Zambia. So we've been targeting a subsection of society, inclusive of youth users and driving under the influence of alcohol is potentially a fatality. We also try to meet women, especially with information regarding the dangers of consuming alcohol while being pregnant. So the scope of our awareness is quite huge, and that is why we are struggling to make certain that this event successfully goes on in the next 11 days when we're going to be flagged up by the British administration in Southern Jordan.
And very finally, what sort of relationship do you have with outlets that deal in alcohol, for example, especially when it comes to restrictions, age restrictions?
We have to protect the business relationship with the local authority, council in Selma, to see how we can address gaps that we notice in the sale of outflow regarding handling patterns. However, the current trend that is noticed in the community is that alcohol such as the famous CBD, which is a strong brand, is commonly sold in anti-legislative extenders, and this makes the alcohol very accessible to youth to frequented places. So we do have quite a number of candidates. However, we are not excluded yet by the law, which is being used by 3 departments of the which we might be able to implement such that to enable community to exist in a sober state.
Okay. And you have enough sponsorship for what you want to do?
Well, this is a very large undertaking, and more put on the table that we have an NGO that is 22 years old, just get access when we plan to support our services. For this year, we are appealing to the corporate board to find an opportunity in our year if we want to advertise their plan to partner with Castle, because this is just a remarkable opportunity for business establishment to market the product.
Right.
Only we accept this end of the country to do this remarkable work on behalf of the many families that have to be responsible because of the residents, and we hope that to make a mark in our country.
Thank you very much, and best of luck. Maketo Mukangemi, board chairperson, Chama Alcohol and Drug Rehabilitation Organization. Right, we have to go, and in that sense, this is related to what you're doing, and I wonder how it makes you feel listening to the gentleman there.
Well, in fact, Franklin, this organization, we have already started working with them. So we are ready to receive them when they arrive. Okay, we have already put officers and maybe one senior officer who will be there to receive them.
Right.
Yes, and we are contemplating of giving them some materials so that they can also use as they work.
And you need more of such organizations.
Exactly. We will need a lot of collaboration with the other organizations.
Okay.
Yes, because like I said, Franklin, we want to change the narration. DEC has always been associated with arrest.
Right.
We want to work with people. Yes.
So I can walk into your office without being worried that
exactly.
I will not go home.
We are people centered now.
Okay, no, that's a very important message, because I suppose for a subway,
Sure.
you rely on information from ordinary people, right?
In fact, the general public, our great resource for information, they are out there, they interact, they see things. So
Okay.
please feel free to walk to us, walk in and come and give us that information.
Right.
We are on hand to actually bring the culprit.
So the fear is, okay, no. Okay, that's not it. Okay, all right, great, good to have had you. Very best of luck. Now, like you said, you don't work alone. You want to work with the public, and that's really, really good to hear. Thank you for coming to the update.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The update closing, the Boyd Lalula, Senior Investigations Officer, Anti-Money Laundering Unit, and flanked by Dr. Isaac Masie, Assistant Commissioner, National Education Department. And the key message is the DEC is open and wants to work with the community, with you. Walk in there, give your information, and you will work out. That's been part of the update. I'm Franklin. Goodbye.